Our conversation with Ian McIsaac is brought to you by Marcus and Mack, a law firm representing injured people. And Ian is on the telephone with us this morning from the IUP Admissions Department, the Office of Undergraduate Admissions. And Ian, good morning to you. How are you?
I'm doing very well, Todd.
good.
Thanks for having me on this morning.
Hey, it'd be a wonderful day today to take a walk through the Oak Grove and show a big group of visiting students all about the IUP campus, how beautiful it is, and what happens in this building and that building. And it's kind of hard to take that walk today because of the conditions of being 2020. Nonetheless, you can get to the Oak Grove in a different way, can't you?
Absolutely. We have started to incorporate several different means for prospective students to join us. We have a virtual tour that's always available online. And then we've also conducted live dictated tours from our tour guides. So at 6 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays, there's usually a handful of students, prospective students, on a Zoom call with our current students, our Crimson Guides, that get to answer questions live, basically.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, it sounds like it is. The question is, well, there are several, but one of the big ones that I have is, how do students actually find out that there is something like this available? What is the marketing tool that reaches out to them and says, hey, you can't come to campus today and look at it because of COVID-19. However, here's what the IUP experience is all about. How do you reach them?
So our marketing and communications team does a great job with just everyone in our database. We have their email addresses and their cell phone numbers, so we'll do email blasts and text messages. Another thing that we like to do is we ask for the parent email address because, high school teenagers, they might not be inclined to go visit campus virtually, so to speak. But if the parents say, hey, I saw this email from IUP saying that they're doing virtual visits, so why don't we check that out? There's been a few times where a parent is on one device and the child is on another device in the same household, or the parents are sitting right behind the student as they're asking their questions. So it's just a matter of outreach through different forms of communication. And then also, we have the Google banner ads that you'll see pop up on various websites or Facebook and things like that.
Yeah, I would guess that it's so very, very important that this be done and done so well. So there's a lot that goes into it. Let's talk a little bit about what they experienced during the tour, because, here we are. We're in a situation where there's just no way they can get to campus and look at it. So you really have to be on your game right from the start.
Absolutely. And our tour guides do a fantastic job of, first of all, expressing how difficult this is for high school seniors that have just graduated, or the juniors that just completed their third year of high school going into their fourth year, and they're starting the college selection process, and maybe they had a bunch of visits planned out and now they have to do it from their computer. So it's just being sympathetic to their feelings about that and saying, we really wish you could be on campus, but in the meantime, this is the next best thing. So they start right in the Oak Grove, though. I mean, that's the heart of campus. So our tour guides will begin there, and then we'll go into the humanities and social science building and talk about how this is the newest academic building on campus. And everyone will have a class in there because everyone has to take a few English classes in the liberal arts curriculum. And then just kind of feeling, okay, well, what does this group of students want to hear about? Do they want to hear about academics? Because then we can talk about academics. Do they want to hear about co-curricular activities? Because then we can talk about the Hub Gymnasium and the Hub Fitness Center, and then all the events that happen down at the KCAC as well.
Yeah. You get the chance, do they get the chance to actually speak with people who are instructors at IUP, administrators, obviously fellow students?
Yes. This past Saturday, we had our first virtual open house, and we have 2 more coming up this summer. And so the virtual open houses gear more towards the academic side of things, and it's really geared towards students entering their senior year of high school at this point. And we start out with a quick welcome, and then we'll actually have the students go on tour for about 40 minutes or so, and then we send out a link to a web page that has a what we call an academic breakout menu. And so all the academic departments are listed on this menu, and the student can go into the academic session of their choice and then talk with faculty members. And then maybe that faculty member also has a current student inside their department to talk more about the academic experience. So it was really a fantastic event. I stayed in the main webinar, and students kind of popped in and out and said, hey, what's the link for geography? And they would go into geography, and then 10 minutes later they'd say, okay, I got my information from geography. Now I want to go hear more about history. And so then they would hop into history. So it was pretty cool how that worked. And we got really positive feedback from it this past weekend.
That's good. Ian McIsaac with us from the IUP Office of Undergraduate Admissions. I'm assuming there was some form of this, maybe not as sophisticated as it is now, before even all of this happened, yes?
Yes. We had a few years ago, we had a virtual tour through YouTube. It was a series of YouTube videos. But then recently, our new marketing and communications division did a new virtual visit through a company called UVisit, and actually a little a bot pops up, so to speak. His name is Zeke, and Zeke will dictate the tour. And that hasn't had as many hits as it has recently, obviously, because people actually want to be on campus. But since then, it's definitely picked up.
Yeah, obviously, feedback is really important to you. What are you hearing about how students experience it and how they like it?
We've had a lot of positive experience. They understand the situation and that they can't physically be on campus, but they just really appreciate the fact that we are trying to reach out to them and letting them know that we are there to answer any questions that they might have about campus. And now, starting July 1st, we're going to open up the application for fall of 2021. And so we just want them to know that we're going to be there to help them through that application process. A little deviation from the campus tours, the application process is different now because the SATs were canceled. So we're working with students that, do they need those SAT scores? Do they have to wait until the fall when they can take them again? So just trying to put the student at ease is basically what we're focused on right now.
Yeah,
letting them know that we're there.
The challenges of this are just amazing, but then you have to look at them as opportunities as well. You might have exposure to a student who has great potential, but you don't have the background of the SATs or the ACTs. You might have students that might not normally consider IUP. We're going to take a look at it now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot quicker to log on to your computer and take a virtual tour of campus than it is to drive or even fly in for an on-campus tour. The first student question and answer session I had, there was a young lady from Massachusetts on the call. So I asked her, how did you hear about IUP? And she said, well, I heard they had a great psychology program, so I just wanted to find out more about it.
Wow.
Said, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
So would you ever come to campus if we were in the normal setting? And she said, to be honest with you, I don't know, but I'm glad that I'm listening to you folks now.
Oh, yeah. Well, that has to pick you up, doesn't it? My goodness.
Yeah.
All right. So obviously, as this process goes forward and you learn and you refine and you update, you can look at this as a great recruitment tool for the future for just that type of student, even though I know you'd love to have them right there in person so they could see everything about IUP and experience it in ways that are more traditional. But this has to be, something that you can say, well, there's something there that we can build on. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, when we're in the office in Sutton Hall, we have our student workers, and they're answering phone calls. Well, if someone says, well, I'd like to see campus, well, okay, let's hop on a Zoom call real quick, and it can take you through campus. And then hopefully that will entice the student enough to actually come down and take a physical visit on campus.
Yeah. We're talking with Ian McIsaac this morning from IUP's Office of Undergraduate Admissions. I talked yesterday with Dr. Jamie Martin, IUP faculty members, who's the APSCo president. Faculty have to be on board with this too, don't they? And they have to be pretty excited.
Yeah. The faculty feedback has been very positive as well. They're glad that we're, moving forward and we're not just stagnant saying we can't do anything. And they're willingness to participate is a huge help because as much as we talk to the students, they don't want to hear from us. They want to hear from the people that will be teaching them. And so to have 100% participation this past weekend on Saturday was awesome. The fact that all of the departments could be represented and there's just someone available for them, the students, to talk to. I think it's very important.
Yeah, I'm thinking the comm media department and the drone pilots at IUP are pretty excited about putting together video presentations too.
Yeah.
It's good stuff all around. We know that IUP is going to be challenged in this coming year, as all universities are going to be. We know that there have been challenges in the last 5, 6, even 10 years because of funding and the votes going on in Harrisburg this week and how it moves forward with the state system redesign. But you have a choice of looking at things positively or in a negative light, and it sounds like IUP is doing the positive thing.
Yeah, I think that's very important for us just to, take one day at a time. And we also have to look forward to the future, but I think it's important that they're just making sure that the students feel comfortable and that they know that we are there for them.
All right. So you mentioned a couple of moments ago you had the open house over the weekend. It was the first of those. What's coming up and how can people participate?
So we have, in July, we have one open house on, I believe it is July 19th. Is that the Saturday? And then we also have another open house on August 1st. But we are changing up our tour schedule a little bit during the week, Monday through Friday. Mm-hmm. So Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we are going to have a student question and answer session along with a guided virtual tour at 3 o'clock. And then in the evening on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 o'clock, we will have that same student question and answer as well as a guided tour. And they can just go to the IUP website, and then on the right-hand side, there's tabs to click on to visit campus, and it takes them up to sign up for our virtual visits.
There you go. That's IUP.edu. Ian McIsaac, thanks for spending some time with us today. Appreciate it.
My pleasure, Todd. Thanks for having me on.
Have a great day. Come back, too, okay?
Okay, absolutely.
All right, great. It's the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, 101.1 FM and AM 1160.